I think next we're going to add a room trap. How are we going to visually represent the traps? So we're gonna do spikes on the ground. We'll go with red and the grayscale. Okay, so we're gonna want holes in the floor. Let's do somewhat circular. Might want a little bit larger than that. Yeah, it should be all right. Center that. Nope, we can't center it because it's... Okay, we're going back to the drawing board on this one. Well, no, because I want it... Because if it's an odd number, that means that I can have a nice spike. It'll look weird here because we're working in single pixels, but once we upscale it, it'll be fine. It'll be all right. Now here's the only other thing. The holes are going to need to be bigger. The spikes are going to need to be bigger. So let's do this. Delete this. So we need to make each one of these holes slightly bigger. Man, thought we were so close. But I want us to look right, and if we're going to do it right, let's do it right. That doesn't look too bad. We've got the holes. Perfect. Now we need to do the spikes. Now here's what I'm thinking. Build out the spikes entirely, and then we shrink them down and save them in reverse. That way we know what they're going to look like at the end. So there's no trouble there. Okay, that's the first row of spikes. And then we need to do the second row, which I believe I should just be able to... Oh yeah, they're only... Alright, never mind. We can't do that. This is why I needed to keep it odd, because as you can see now, it kind of comes to a dull point, which doesn't really make sense. So, we need to fix that on the holes. Yeah, I think it feels fine. That feels all right. So then, let's come over here. We just need to adjust the spikes that are currently in there. Different shading on them might look good to kind of do like an offset graphically. I'm not feeling it though. I'm not feeling it. I'm also thinking, do we have the spikes all come up at once, or do we kind of offset them? So like as the front spikes are coming up, the back ones are going down, middle ones go down. So kind of be in like a wave pattern, you know? I think it might look a little more interesting doing that. We'll give it a try. Now the one thing I was kind of maybe thinking about doing, which is why I included in the grayscale palette, I thought about including blood on the spikes. So I just want to try that really quick to see what it looks like. There we go. It's not too bad. Okay, so the animation. We need to animate these things. Empty, back spikes start coming up, mid spikes start coming up, front spikes, done. Now, I know this is going to create more frames of animation. I'm kind of wanting to do this. I'm going to start on the back spikes. So we need to figure out how we're going to do this system. So the decorations spawn regardless of item, which is fine. Well, item or monster, which is what we want. But we don't want traps to spawn if there are items or monsters. But we also don't want there to be a possibility where every time there's an empty room, there's going to be a trap. So if the room is empty, it's currently setting these variables all to -1. So this is the monster, item, and item 2. Item 1, item 2. I think we need to do room traps 1 through 60. Yeah, I think that just is what it has to be, because it has to be something that it spawns in and it's solid. Yep. That's what we're doing. So we just have to go through and make a bunch of variables. There we go. So we've got all the variables. Variables set 71 to 0 and 1. So if it's 0, it's going to do nothing. But if the room is empty and it is a 1, there's going to be a trap. So the player's location plus 1 times whatever room you're in. So if you're in room 6, it's 920 plus 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not an empty room. Let's kill this guy. Let's go. Okay, empty room. So that means that this should be room 9 should have a variable ID of 1. Perfect. So it looks like we are getting our traps, the variables set correctly. 212. This should not have a variable assigned to it. Does it? It does not. That's good. Okay, so 211 should, though. 211 does. Perfect. If I come back over here, though, if I leave and come back. Okay, good. So it doesn't. Phew. That's good. So here, then, we're going to have another section, and this is going to be create room traps. So if variable 920 plus the player's location, then set 920 plus the player's location to -1. But if you're not, then we need to say is equal to 1. Show trap 1-1, picture 38. There we go. So if game variables dot value 920 plus player location, so it should be 921, is equal to 0. And then it'll go through and be like, okay, well, if you're equal to 1, do this trap. If you're equal to 2, yada, yada, yada. But if you are already equal to a trap, then don't set it. So then we need to call the dexterity saving throw. We're going to wait for the transition to change and then turn on saving throw. Now we need to determine how you're actually going to avoid the traps. Do we just say you have to roll a 10 or above? Room, trap, evasion, difficulty. We will set you to 10. There's kind of a part of me that's like, what is happening here? There we go. Take my blackjack up your butt. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. Oh, give me a trap room, please. I just want to. Okay, there we go. So it's a trap room. Why? Okay, if we go forward, it's going to be a room with a trap. There we go. We do our evasion. Got a 3. That sucks. Well, bam. We got hurt. Perfect. Oh, that feels so good to have that system actually working. Oh, okay, at this point, I think we can come in here, set this back to -3, +3. We will set you to 0 and 1. I think that's all I need to change so that we're spawning monsters, items, and then a 50-50 chance of an empty room being an actual empty room and not a... Again, RNG will RNG. There we go. Item. Strength. And then an actual empty room. Perfect. And we got a monster in here. Ooh, got a blackjack. That's what I like to see. Empty room, empty room, empty room. Then we come down here. It's still the trap. Yes! Oh, it's working. Okay, it is working. Whew. Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, then we can close that. Let's come over here to our Trello board. We're not going to do add room trap. We're going to call this create room trap pipeline. That is what it is. There we go. We created the room trap pipeline. Awesome.